Hello, friends. My name is Maximus, and I'll be your dungeon master for the evening. I'd like to welcome you all to the very first episode of Catches and Cantrips, where some of your favorite streamers play Dungeons and Dragons live on Fridays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm joined by the amazing cast of Bunny Dreadful, Mac and Cheese Please, Virtual Spectre, and Moves Like Jagger from the Glorious Gaming Network. And I'm so excited to roll some dice with you guys. You have no idea. This is all I've been thinking about for quite some time. So I have just a couple things that I wanted to say before we get started here. First off, good news is if you're not able to catch all the live streams, there's also going to be VODs. It'll also be on YouTube. And then you can also listen to it on podcast networks too. So we're going to distribute that out. So if you missed the live version, you can always have it wherever you go. Some other exciting news is that now we've got integration with D&D Beyond. You should be able to hover over the left side of your screen and take a look at all these awesome characters that the cast has built today, and take a peek at their character sheets. Also, one thing that I'm very happy to announce is that the Catches and Cantrips merch is officially live on Interlink Designs. So I know some of you were asking for it and you wanted it earlier today. Well, now it should be out there. So thank you all for asking, and you've got it. So thank you all so much for all the love that you've given me. I see all kinds of gift subs. You guys are awesome. I've turned off the alerts so you all get the ambiance in Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, I'm so excited to play with you guys. It's gonna be awesome. I'm very excited. Mac also looks amazing in her cosplay.
Oh boy!
I was like,
yeah, this was my
do we get to talk
ambiance.
now? I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like ambiance.
It's just your aesthetic.
Yeah, this is just who I am.
It's just how she looks normal.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Awesome.
I cosplay as Mac and Cheese Please, but this is really me. So
Oh, I knew it.
I gotta say, the whole setup looks great.
Perfect. Well, without further ado, all the announcements and the pleasantries out of the way, let's go ahead and get settled in and prepare for tonight's episode of Casters and Cantrips. Okay.
Awesome.
yeah.
that was so hype. Oh my god.
Perfect. So let's all get started on some D&D tonight, and we'll jump right in there. So you look up, and you see the almost cloudless blue sky above you. You can hear gulls squawking in the distance, and you can almost taste the salt in the air from the sea. As you look behind, you can see the large coastal city of Fourcross, where you had spent the night the previous day. You can see the stone walls surrounding the city extend all the way to the shore of the Cannabis Sea, enveloping the harbor of the city of Fourcross. As your eyes follow down the shore, you can see an entire fleet of ships mustering in the harbor. The powder blue and gold flags of the Vantis Kingdom are blowing in the light wind atop the masts. You turn your eyes forward to see this seemingly endless bridge before you, spanning across the sea. This is the Great Bridge of Nona, built by a fallen empire hundreds of years ago. You see a large number of people traveling on the Great Bridge away from Fourcross. There are families with horse-drawn carts carrying chairs, tables, other personal effects. There are also large caravans carrying goods that are pulled by oxen and being escorted by armed guards, mercenaries by the look of them. Looking down, you see a cart being pulled by 2 horses. Inside of this cart are a group of 4 people using it for transportation across the bridge. And at this point, I'd like you all to describe your characters, starting with Ron.
I am Ron, Furbolg Paladin, decked out in beautiful metals with runes on my shoulders. a green tabard representing the god of my liking, Sylvanas. I'm here to protect the people from the corruption of this world and the evils that lurk within it. My beautiful long hair flows into the wind as I rub my long, luxurious black beard and gaze off into the distance.
All right. What about Bryn?
Well, Bryn is very tall for a human woman, you know, but otherwise pretty normal looking. Does seem like she's dyed her braided hair a slight shade of pink. You're not sure how she does this. She's carrying with her a spear, a shield at her side at all times. Otherwise, she is decked out in furs and leathers, customary to the area. She is somewhat bored looking, or perhaps watching the other people that go by, always wary of those around her.
How about Vin?
Well, I like to wear cloaks and have beautiful long white hair, silvery skin. Some call me a little bit of a prankster. I don't think I go too far, but some people might say I do.
Perfect. All right. Up next, Valkan.
I'm a wood elf. I don't know if that matters, but some people call me a monk. I don't know if that's really my shtick. I was trained in it, know a few things in combat, but I'm just your average laid-back fellow who's just trying to get ahead in life. Been working as a mercenary for I don't know how many years. But if there's one thing I know in this life, that it doesn't get any better than having somebody you can count on next to you. And I think, whatever adventures ahead of us, this group right next to me might just be the people that lift me up. I got dark hair. I have a robe that crosses my shoulder on one side. I have a tattoo of a serpent. Very standoutish, even though I'm not. And I think you'll what we got planned.
Very nice. All right. So, as you are crossing this great bridge that spans away from the Vantis Kingdom, you see a small cart. Looks to be with two small ponies that were pulling it. Kind of toppled on, little cattywampus as you would, onto the bridge. Looks like a wheel may be broken. And you see a small halfling, as well as a halfling kid with them. What does the group do?
I need to let my dog out.
First stream nerd.
So sorry.
Um,
Okay, right back.
Said a halfling kid and
Yep, a halfling adult man and then a halfling child next to their seemingly broken cart.
And we're just kind of traveling along in our own cart, right?
Mm-hmm.
perhaps we should take a break and help these peoples here.
Yes, small children cannot fix cart. We
This
should
is a
help.
good point, yes.
I don't have a problem with it. Just as long as I get to snack on something.
Small children, do you need Ron's assistance?
Ron, they're not both small children. One is child, other is halfling.
No, they're very small.
We've talked about this before. Not everyone small is child. I know you're tall, but not everyone's okay. It's fine. You know what?
Ron's
fine. Lift the cart.
perspective, tiny children.
Okay.
Ron, am
lift
I
cart.
a child?
Maybe adolescent.
it's
So,
close enough. Yeah.
as you're approaching and you call out to these two people, calling them small children, you see this halfling man just look almost vertically to catch your gaze. And he says, well, actually, I'm not a child, but he's a child. My name is Welby, and our cart's broken, and this is my son, Simon, and we're trying to get across the bridge over to Last Chance, and we've got a bit of a snag here. I was wondering if you could help us.
Of course, man-child. Ron will help you. Where is your wheel? Is it damaged?
You look down at the wheel, and there's just a large, almost like a large crack and a chunk coming out of it. Yeah, it's right here. It's definitely broken. I don't have an extra.
Do you happen to have any tools?
No, I can't afford tools.
Is there any other goods on their cart, or is it like just them?
Make a perception check.
Seven.
7. So you take a look at their cart, and you can see just a whole bunch of personal effects, smaller than what you would use because they're halflings. But it's just like they just threw everything into this cart and left town. If there are any tools in there, you'd have to dig around and dump their cart out pretty much.
I'm trying to figure out if all their goods could fit on our cart.
Probably, since it's just you four.
Perhaps we could just give them a lift. Where is it we are headed again? We're going to, where is it you said? Last chance.
That is a good
Last
question. Where
chance
are
is
you
what I
headed?
think they said.
Yeah, we could at
were you
least take you
asking-
most of the way.
Were you asking me?
Anyone, I don't know where anybody's going. I wasn't paying attention.
Well, I was just crossing the bridge over to, Last Chance is the next city over. Well, the only city over, really.
I don't
Whatever
see
you
why
guys
we
wanna
can't
do.
take ya.
Yes. We are heading to Last Chance to Amore. That is
what?
our mission.
To a more... What?
Or Aramore. Forgive Ron. Words are difficult sometimes.
Well, if you don't mind, if we can load our stuff up and we could hitch the ponies to the back of your wagon. We'll probably
Yes,
slow
you
you
do
down.
ponies, I will carry stuff. Me and this little one, I point up at Ron. We can lift the stuff, and we'll just start, the two tall people will start lifting all the stuff out.
Ron is not little. I say that under my breath.
Sure.
At this time, Valkin's just kind of like taking in everything, sitting in the cart, drinking what may or may not be some spiked tea, and is just kind of smiling to himself as everybody's trying to figure out what to do.
I'm just sitting watching as my feet are like kicking back and forth like a child would, just like sitting. They're not touching the ground, but I'm just like watching everything unfold.
Gotcha. Okay, so you all start loading their effects into your cart.
Yes.
Yep.
So the small child, Simon, he sees you, Vin, just kind of sitting there, with your legs just kind of kicking and not really helping. So he kind of, he looks at you, and then he just goes, eh.
I just look down at the child and reach out my cup towards him.
Yep. Are
You
you
like-
are Vin and Valkan sitting next to each other?
Oh, it's that Vin? Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah.
Sorry.
I told you it was gonna
Sorry.
cause problems.
You just stand there.
No, Val.
Oh, you want Upsies? Because I don't do Upsies.
Yeah, I'm Simon. I just want to sit on the cart.
I like offer my hand, but in a very limp way that's not really helpful. I'm just like holding it out, like I'll help you, but do it yourself.
He kind of just grabs it and he's like, your cart's taller than ours.
Fine. And I like hop off in like a bounce motion and like upsie-daisy, like one motion, put him on the cart. And then I like sit back on and like start shuffling my feet again.
Yeah, so as you do that, oh, wow, you're strong. What's your name? Where are you going? Why do you just have this cart? Do your horses have names? Thanks for helping us.
I go, and I look over at Bryn and give like an eye.
Valken echoes that sigh almost at the same time.
I'm gonna lean over, and I'm very tall for a human, like 6'8", so head of the volleyball team here. I'm gonna lean over this little kid who said the name is Simon. Yes.
Yeah, my name is Simon.
Yeah, you see this one, and I'm gonna point at Vin.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't talk to her.
Oh.
She bites, and then I'm gonna walk away.
She bites. And he kind of like scoots to the other side of your cart and just kind of just looks, trying not to be scared, but he's very scared. Oh. All right, so you all start loading the things onto the cart, and it takes you a little while to get finished, so it set you back a little bit. You started about early morning. It probably takes you the better of hour or two, just to unload their cart, get their ponies hitched to your wagon, and then you set off. So as you're crossing over this just enormous bridge, you see people traveling, mostly in the direction that you're going, and it takes you probably the better part of half of a day to cross this bridge. It is just enormous and covers across two landmasses connecting them. And as you make it across the bridge, you see kind of a beaten path of a road you would maybe call a road, but isn't really well kept. And then you see before you just this massive landscape of the road going through large forests of trees. You see mountains way in the distance. What do? Continue down the road?
I'm whistling when I look over at the kid and Paliby. Is that his name?
Welby?
Elby.
Yeah, Wilby is the father and Simon is the son.
Wilby, why are you going to Last Chance anyways? What's in Last Chance?
Oh, well, Last Chance is pretty much, I mean, it's the last chance of any kind of civilization before you get out in the Tyrian region. It's pretty, well, it's pretty wild out here, to be honest, but we're leaving Forecross because I think that they're starting a war, and I really don't want to be a part of that. I'm afraid for me and my son, and I would rather not get, press ganged into fighting for the kingdom. I don't know if you saw all the ships there, but there was a lot of them.
War is dangerous.
Yes, but you also get to fight, and everyone likes to fight. Plus, it's not too young to start learning.
They are just small children, Bryn. They cannot
I
fight.
learned to fight as a child. What are you talking about?
You are different. These are small children.
When I was his age, I could already wield a throwing axe and 5 spears in one go.
I mean, I'm actually 48 years old, but I mean, I know I'm small.
The one who calls Simon.
Well, Simon, he is a child. He's just a few years old.
Come here. Come sit with Auntie Bryn.
If Bryn
I'll
can
show you
hold
something very, very fun.
Javelin as small child, then
This
Simon
is my
can hold.
axe. It is as big as you. Would you like to hold it?
Oh, well, yeah. Well,
Yes.
hold
Don't
on.
touch this part.
Wait. Hold on. No. He's a little too young for axes. Maybe when you're older, Simon.
Oh, come on, Pops, lighten up.
If you really want to
Okay,
hold,
okay,
if you really want
okay.
to convince
Here,
Dad,
you can
make a
hold this
persuasion check.
instead. I will give him my dagger instead.
Make a persuasion check. What would you
Wait,
roll?
who's
If you want him to
who's
hold the
rolling?
dagger, you have to convince the dad. I was saying roll a persuasion.
you were asking me to do it?
No, Bryn, since she's the one wanting to hold it. You can assist her if you'd like and give her
Huh?
advantage.
I have to convince him?
You want him to hold it.
Oh, I thought he wanted to convince him. Sure.
I was like,
If you want to assist her, you can give her
Uh,
advantage on her persuasion check.
by the way, Max, while all this is happening, can Valkan just be like kind of scanning back and forth to see if anything looks out of place on the road ahead of them?
Sure.
I just make what is that?
Yep. We'll get to that
Perception
after
check?
this roll.
15, because I have a -1 charisma.
A 15. Okay. So Wilby, the small halfling father, kind of looks at Simon and looks at you kind of back and forth, and he goes, well, and you're professional, right? And you're helping us, so just be careful,
These are
Simon.
true facts.
Do
Mm.
what she says. Don't hurt yourself. I'll be here the whole time. And he kind of,
Okay, here. And I'll like start showing him where to hold it and where not to touch the knife.
yeah. So
And then you know, he'll look over his shoulder and see Simon, and he's just like, she's like, yeah, and he's like making little like stabbing motions.
So Simon, being a small halfling child, you hand him a dagger and he holds it with two hands,
Yeah.
almost like a great sword. So he's just kind of thrusting with both hands, as you corrupt the mind of this young child.
I'm helping him. I just introduced him to a new career path.
Sure. All right, Valkan, you wanted to make make me a perception check if you want to kind of get a lay of the land around you.
All right. 15. What do I add to this? Perception.
Mhm.
I don't see the thing. Sorry.
That's okay. It should be in the middle of your sheet. So perception is a +3. So if you roll a 15, then you should have an 18 total.
18 then.
Yeah. So with an 18, you can kind of look, and you just see forest. Nothing really out of the ordinary as you just crossed over this great bridge. It will be dark probably in 2 or 3 hours or so. So you will have to find a place to camp for the night. But right now, since there are a lot of people traveling on the road, it seems fine. Nothing out of the ordinary. You see some more caravans going by with trade goods. Some other families making their way down the road. Okay. So as you...
Is there like a
Mhm.
big caravan camp up ahead and where everyone's like convening, or just everyone's kind of just doing their own thing?
You kind of get the sense that most people give me a perception check, actually.
14.
So you get kind of the sense that, similar to Welby and Simon, a lot of people just threw their stuff in the cart and just left pretty quickly. The caravans, similarly, but they also have hired help with them. So you kind of get the sense that no one's really moving together. It's just kind of everyone out for themselves. People just decided to leave, and there was really no plan involved.
It appears these people are in a hurry to get away from danger. Ron believes we should push forward as far as we can and camp later.
Seems good to me.
I agree with the big man.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so you all press on. As you're traveling along the road, you see some people pressing on as it's getting darker. Some people kind of pulling off the road, making camp early, trying trying to be prepared. But it starts to get to about dusk, and you start to think that if you go any further, you're going to be kind of rolling in the dark in kind of an unfamiliar area. But it's up to you all if you want to press on.
Is there any sort of clear areas coming up on the side of the road? Like maybe that would be a good place to pull off, or is it mostly just like trees lining?
Yeah. Make a survival check if you're looking for a place to camp.
A D20 again.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a 17.
17, sure. So along the road, you can kind of see a forest area over to the west of where you're traveling. The trees aren't very thick in this area close to the road, and you can see just a nice clear area if you wanted to camp there. Seems like a lot of wood around for fire, clear enough to put your tents or whatnot down.
Falcon, seeing that, just kind of calls out to everybody and is like, it's getting dark. There seems to be a clearing over there, about as good a place as any. Why don't we make camp? And I don't know who's directing the wagon, but I kind of point to where it's at, and hopefully everybody else sees it.
Yeah, it's up to
Excellent
you.
choice, Falcon.
Up to you.
Onward that way.
Important question: who's driving the cart?
I guess
Oh,
Ron
God.
will.
Who's driving the cars?
Probably
Alright.
the big guy that can control the beasts. Yeah.
I
Sure.
was gonna say, not me. Animals don't like me.
Yeah, so you pull off the path there and into the clearing and start setting up for your camp. It's a pretty easy camping site, like we were saying, from Valkan's survival check, in that plenty of wood for a fire, place to put your tents. Everyone starts kind of setting their tents up for the evening. You can see Welby trying to find some of his belongings. Even though they weren't really organized, it's that situation where in his cart, he knew where things were because he threw them in there. He's kind of struggling to find his tent, but finally finds one amongst all the rest of the things. And you all start setting up your tents for your first night. So it starts to grow dark, and I will need for you to let me know who will be on your first watch and who will be on your second watch, if you choose to have watches.
Ron will take second.
Rin
I'll
will
go
take
first.
first watch.
I'll
Oh,
go
never
first
mind.
with
I will take
you.
third watch. Okay. We'll take first watch.
Unless you don't want to watch with me,
No,
that's
I
cool
was
too.
just
I
thinking-
mean,
No, it's fine. I didn't mean anything by it. I just thought we should spread out. But it's fine because Valkan can take third watch. No?
We're only going to do
Okay.
2.
Oh.
There's only 2.
For some reason in my head I heard 3, but apparently we're only doing 2.
So,
Fun.
so
Just
Ron
been
and
evening
Valkan
eating.
will be second, and then Bryn and Vin will be on 1. Cool. All right, you all set up
Rin
your
and
camp.
Vin.
Yeah.
besties.
Sure. I need you both to make me perception checks, please.
Okay.
And if you do not have dark vision, they'll be at disadvantage.
Hold on.
7.
Perfect.
So at disadvantage, we roll twice and take the lower of the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
3.
3. Okay. So as your watch goes along, you really don't see or hear anything other than just, some birds chirping, your typical kind of fauna noises in the woods. Was there anything that you all wanted to discuss on your watch?
Vin, my braids have come undone. Do you want I could braid yours and you could braid mine,
Ooh,
just
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have time to braid them today,
Yeah.
so if you could.
I noticed it was kind of here, come here.
Yeah.
That's why we don't notice anything.
Yeah, we're
Braiding
braiding.
hair.
hmm And as we're braiding, so Bryn, what brings you to this side of the world?
Oh, I understood. This is my side of the world. I come from actually up north here. So, I didn't actually expect to be coming back here. But, you know, I joined the guild to help people, I suppose. And I just sort of do what people tell me to do.
Makes sense. You don't really strike me as the kind of person that does what people tell you to do. But as long as it's for the guild?
If the person telling me what to do is a smart person, sure. If they're stupid, I just don't listen.
That makes sense. I agree with that.
What about you? You're from this area too. You have the braids of the northern style as well, I see.
Yes, I am from this area. I'm very much, as you say, a wanderer, just kind of going as I will, join the guild to kind of, well, we probably shouldn't get into that right now. Let's just say I'm running from someone, so, we won't talk about it. Forget about it up.
You know what? I don't want to know.
Yeah, the less you know, the better this will be. Let's just say sometimes pranks go a little too far, you know what I'm saying? So, it's fine. It's fine. It's probably
This is why
fine.
I don't do pranks. Village where I come from, you do a prank, someone likely to lose hand. Then you're
That
down a
could have
hand for
happened.
winter, everyone die.
Eee!
Mm.
Oh, look at the time. Should we wake the guys or?
Oh yeah, wake up! And I'm just gonna smash my spear onto my shield to wake up right next to Ron's head.
Ah,
And I
Falcon
tickle.
is awake, by the way.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was saying I tickle Vulcan's
You're just
feet.
sitting there.
Sitting there the whole time watching us, and we're like ignoring you.
Perfect. All right.
Ron does not like what Bryn hurt ear.
No, it's kind of a little bit loud, yeah.
That's fine.
It's
Builds
okay, though.
character. Good night.
Guess it's me and you, buddy. Let's go.
I like fall fast asleep.
Yeah.
All right, drunk elf. Keep your eyes open.
Drunk elf, easy. I have feelings, buddy.
Apologize.
Uh,
Okay.
As we sit down for our watch, are the two guests with us? Are they fast asleep, looking safe?
Oh yeah. So they've got their tent
Falcon
kind of
wants
set
to
up
like
near the
check
cart.
in on them.
Yeah, they've got their tent set up near the cart, and you look over, you see Welby and Simon just fast asleep in their tent. It looks to be like the kind of rest that you would get from a very exhausting and day full of work.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, I need you both to make perception checks. And if you do not have dark vision, it'd be disadvantaged since it is nighttime.
9.
I got a 9 too.
9.
Nice.
Perfect. Okay. So as you're just kind of
You
looking,
also braiding each other's hair?
so as you're
No.
all looking, just kind of out into the forest, not much moonlight here, being close to the beginning of the month where the new moon is. You both hear just a twig snap, very close to your camp. And as you look over, Valkan, you can see maybe 20 feet in front of you, just as you turned and they were there, what appears to be a wood elf with a bow trained on you. If you look around, Ron, you can sort of see the silhouette of a handful of more figures in the trees. You really can't make out what they're doing since they're just a little past your vision.
And I for sure recognize this as a wood elf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And this wood elf, she says to you, "What are you doing here?"
Me?
Yes, you.
I just kind of look over at Ron, kind of quickly glance around. Do I in this kind of split second of glancing before I engage her, like in conversation, not attack her.
Nice clarification.
Just to be clear, do I notice any of the other shadows in the woods with
Mhm.
my dark vision?
Yep.
Okay, so I know it's more than just her.
Definitely.
I just kind of, look her in the eye, see the bow drawn at me, and Valken says, it's a little late at night, and those things tend to be kind of dangerous to point at people. Could you maybe lower it down a little bit, and then we can have a chat?
Make a persuasion roll.
Persuasion. That's a 5.
She kind of holds her bow at you and she kind of looks slightly past it. And she says to you, I may consider it if you answer my question first. What are you doing here?
Kind of step in and assert my stature, my size. I was like, we are just resting in this forest
Why here?
because it is late and we are tired and
Where
we
are
have
you
small
going?
children traveling with us. We are traveling to Last Chance.
And she kind of assesses the camp and sees people sleeping there, the fire kind of burning. And she lowers her bow, not putting it away, just kind of lowering it where it's not pointed at you. And she kind of looks between you both, and she says, if I were you, I wouldn't travel any further west than this.
And why do you say that?
We're patrolling the area because there seems to be some sort of roaming army or some kind of force that is burning hamlets and villages to the ground, it seems. We haven't seen it happen, but we have seen the aftermath.
Perhaps you can assign us guides to ensure our safety.
I think the road will guide you enough.
For the children.
For the children.
Sure.
Valken hasn't stood up, and so he's still sitting on the ground, and Ron being already like 100 feet taller than him, he's just kind of looking up at Ron like, children? And then looks back at her.
Yes, the one called Welby and Simon.
Valken just points over.
She looks,
For Welby.
and she kind of looks at you all. You seem to be well equipped enough to take care of any children that you're traveling with. And I, for one, cannot spare any of my patrol to take you wherever you're going. Just don't go any further west than this.
Ron will take note. Salvanas be willing to guide your way.
You would
Before they
definitely
go-
know, Ron, that west is where you're from. Deeper into the woods.
Okay. And she said there was an army that was rampaging through and burning everything.
Yeah. West and northwest is where you're from. And she mentioned just a roaming army or something like that. That's just burning villages to the ground. But they haven't seen it. They just seen what remains.
Okay. Before you go, elf woman, was this an army or some sort of evil beast?
I didn't see it for myself, so I can't be certain. I don't know of any beast that would do this. Burn villages to the ground. That I know of, but I can't be sure, and this region is quite dangerous, so perhaps.
Very well. Thank you.
And she kind of backs away and then walks into the forest. and seemingly disappears from you, Ron. You can see Valkan as they're kind of moving outside of your vision range, that they're heading back into the forest, the direction they came.
Well, what do you think, Ron?
Ron is very concerned. Ron's village, where she spoke of, the west, my village was burned down and decimated. I was the only one left. And that's where I met Bryn. She saved me. So Ron is very concerned.
Falcon just kind of nods.
She snores.
Nods and shows that he understands what Ron's saying and doesn't say anything to him, but just kind of like holds up the glass of very spiked sweet tea.
I'll sniff it and just like kind of like touch it with my tongue.
And it's
Ron does not like.
It's very sweet. You can almost. There's almost no hint of alcohol in it.
Then Ron enjoys and takes a big gulp.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vulcan.
As you hand your glass to Valkan, it's like whenever your dad asks, "Can I have a drink of your soda?" when you're about 5 and drinks about 2/3 of it.
Vulcan just takes it back and eyes it, and he's like, and just shoots the rest of it.
Anything else you all would like to do or discuss for your watch?
That is all.
As long as there's no other things to cause us trouble, I think we're good.
Not that you know of. So as the sun rises into the forest, you can see the fires start to burn down, and the rest of you wake up. Wilby is up extremely early packing. And it is morning on the next day.
All right, it's time for morning push-ups. Let's go, everyone.
Not
Just me?
my thing.
Okay.
Yes. You
Simon,
small child.
you're to be
you must
warrior.
do.
Let's go. Yeah. Listen to Ron. Listen to Big Man.
Vulcan just chuckles and shakes his head and starts packing up his stuff.
Bryn's doing like one-handed push-ups. So where are we going again?
We are headed to Last Chance.
Oh yeah, I know this is where we are taking Welby and Simon here, but where is it we are going? We have a guild mission, no?
Yes, we are chartering a ship to Aramor for our quest, our mission, to retrieve an artifact for our client.
An artifact? Doesn't sound like very useful task for warriors of our skill.
Ron agrees, but
Do push-up.
Arcanist offers much weight in gold.
I guess to help the guild, this is a waste of time, but all right.
However,
it's always good.
yes. However, we are a contract. We are able to keep anything we find along the way.
Speaking of waste of time, did you guys have a good night while you were keeping watch? We just braided hairs. Nothing crazy happened or anything.
It was very pleasant.
Oh, Ron forgot. We were surrounded by elves.
You don't think you could have led with that, like when
Yeah,
we first woke up? Or, maybe woke us up and been like, hey, ladies, there's elves in the woods.
Yeah,
had
I
it
feel like
covered.
that's information you should have started
Yeah.
with.
Vulcan and Ron had situation covered.
Yeah.
However,
Well, what happened?
they said they warned us not to go west. For there
Is
is an
that the way we're
army
going?
or some sort of beast burning down villages and settlements around the area.
I look at Bryn and give her like the eye of like understanding, and I say, "This seems like something for adventurers of our skill, doesn't it?"
Yes, this seems like perfect task guild should send us on. Helping helpless people, saving villages, killing wild beasts and not wild beasts. Roving bands of warriors that need to be put down.
So you would note, based on your contract leading you to Last Chance, But Last Chance is directly to the north on the road from Four Cross. So it's not in the direction that you are going necessarily, but it's in the region.
Should, on our travels to Last Chance, we should just ask anyone else we see along the road, maybe gather more information. Maybe when we come back to return to guild, we can.
I'm
finish
looking
job.
at the map. That bridge that long bridge that we were on, is that
Mhm.
looks like, is that the same one that's going up towards Last Chance? Is that where we are?
Yeah, so if you look at
So we've already
Four
crossed it
Cross-
and we're
Yeah. So
Okay.
you've crossed your bridge and you're into the forest. Let's see if we can
okay.
we'll show chat what we're looking at real quick. So if you look at the map here, so from Four Cross, they crossed that bridge and then you were on the way to Last Chance. It'll probably take you half a day to get there.
So a full day's trip there and back if we're going back.
Well, after that, we have to go north to Aramore, you said?
Oh, that's right.
Which looks. And there's no road.
Yep, you're about halfway to
Oh,
Last
we're gonna take a
Chance.
boat.
Half a day
Okay.
to Last Chance, and then as Ron indicated, you're going to meet someone to ferry you the rest of the way via sea.
Valkan's already put his stuff in the wagon, is kind of just leaned against it, arms crossed, almost looked like he's about to take a nap, but that's almost his usual posture when he's waiting for stuff. And he's just kind of like, wherever you guys want to go, just let me know. We're fighting and we'll deal with it when we get there.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do before you head off?
Just want to get on the road.
Hmm.
Yeah, press forward.
Okay. You guys have a quick breakfast and put your camp away. Welby offers you all tea as you are getting ready. I made you this tea. It's from my own personal store. I grew it myself.
Wilby, this is most kind. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You said you'll head to Last Chance. What is it you'll do there? You have a skill, profession?
Well, I'm a farmer. So I'll see if there's any land there.
You know, it's very cold up here. The land is like rocks. It's not great.
Oh, well, I heard that there was maybe some land around Last Chance. So that's as far as I plan to go. So maybe if there's not anything there, then I'll keep searching or find something else to do. Better than being in Full Cross or in the kingdom for that matter, for now.
Ron would advise you to not go west.
Why not?
There's a rampaging army or some sort of beast burning villages and lands.
Swords and
anything.
death.
Go east.
I'll keep that in mind. He just looks kind of like, oh shit, I just left this place for war and there's like a roaming army up here. And he just kind of packs up his camp and just gets on the cart. What do you do?
I think we all get on the cart. I think we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Noticeably, you know, like Vin and Valkan get on the cart. Bryn gets on the cart and it's like, "Rrr," and then Ron gets in the cart. It's like, "Rrr." Like we yeah. It's a lot of people. on
It is
this cart
definitely
with armor.
a laden cart for now. A lot of weight on it, considering you all and all of the halflings' belongings. All right,
I'll take the reins. I'm like, ha! Go, four-legged beasts.
Yep. So the horses lurch forward. The ponies are tied behind and kind of keep pace with the cart, and you make your way north. I need perception checks, please, from you all for your travels. So it takes you probably the better part of half a day or so to get in the area of Last Chance. What were your rolls?
14.
14.
11. Wait, no,
Eight.
12.
Gotcha. What was 14, 11, 12, and 8, right?
Yes.
Just making sure that I heard right. Okay. So, who had the 14 and the 12 and the 11? Okay.
Ron
It's
did.
pretty easy to see. So as you're making your way to where you think last chance, you see kind of the trees open up a little bit where you would think that a town would be. You see other families kind of in front of and behind you, and you kind of see a couple of a group of horses riding out. And as they're riding out, you can kind of see them looking over like the travelers, the carts, things like that. You see two humans, a male and female. You see a female half-orc, male tiefling, and then a male half-elf, sort of riding out, checking out everything. And they kind of ride by you all as you're approaching the city, kind of slow down and kind of look over what's in your cart, stare for a moment, and then kind of move along. And you kind of see they're just kind of making the rounds back and forth.
Can I make
they-
an insight on their like agenda?
Sure.
Uh, 18.
An 18. Okay. I'm going to send you a message, Moobs.
Oh.
Secrets.
Whispers.
Secret, secret. I got a secret.
We need our own, like, this secret is brought to you by
The secret
Interlinked
is,
Designs.
At a glance, do we notice, do they have any sort of uniform, or do they just look like maybe militia or potentially even bandits? Like, can I see what their dress is like and how they're carrying themselves?
Sure. Make a perception check.
18.
Yeah, so based on kind of their dress, they just seem like your average like commoners clothing, honestly. Nothing really too fancy. Probably not any kind of nobility or anything like that. As well as they don't really look like much of a militia. You don't see weapons or anything on them. Maybe the odd dagger or something in their belt, but no like swords or shields or armor or anything like that. They just look like some people who are riding on horses and just looking over all of the people as they're coming in.
I turn back and I look at Bryn. Bryn, those people are do not have good intentions. We should keep an eye on them.
What do you mean? How do you know this? They're just like riding around checking things out.
Ron
Sometimes
has
I like to just ride around and check things out, you know, it's fun.
deep feeling in belly.
Oh,
Falcon speaks up. I can back up the big man. It's not too often you get normal looking folks paying way too much attention to your cargo.
okay. Well, do you hear this? Keep an eye on your shit.
Oh, what? Sorry, I missed. What were you saying?
Just keep an eye on all your belongings. There's a lot of rough people in this area, you know, like,
Not me.
well,
It's yet to be determined.
I'll keep an eye and it'll be here in the cart. And you can just drop me off wherever when we get to town, and I can take it from there.
all right. Well, you just say when, you know, just like pull the string, you know, on the cart to like when you're at see or stop. Should we, I don't know. Should we just keep an eye out? Or should we, you want me to, you want me to go back and take care of those guys? I could, you know, maybe later. Okay, later. I'll,
yes,
you know.
later.
Look, it's been like 5 days since I've punched something, so you just let me know.
You never know. You might find somebody to punch in the town.
We wait for action from them, then we take action.
Well, this is very wise.
Seems good. We don't want to put a bad name on the guild for attacking innocent people.
Yes, and we
just a
must
good point,
protect
yes.
children in cart.
That too, I guess.
Forgive me, man, child, and child. Yes.
No.
I'm 38 years old. I'm 48
Man
years old.
and child. Although Valkan is sort of man-child, so is Vin.
Honey!
Well, I just mean you're very childlike in appearance. It's a good, nice compliment. Very good skin. Yeah.
So you're
Bryn is
saying
correct.
I look handsome?
I look down, like defeated in comments.
Okay. As you all continue along the road, you can kind of see the village of what you would suspect to be Last Chance kind of opening up. It seems that there's just one main road that leads to it, and it's situated on the coast of the Canamus Sea, where you just left. It seemed you basically crossed over an inlet, and as the sea curves back around, they have built their city there. So as you're going through town, the first thing that you see is a giant just arch over the main road into the city. Almost kind of like green in texture, or green in color. Yeah, green's a color, not a texture. Green in color, and it seems that it's just not very well kept, a little dilapidated. There's some rough hewn stone, what appeared to be maybe some sort of wall next to it or something as you're going through town. But as you are riding through, you make your way into the town square, and there you see similarly kind of that weird greenish color, kind of weeds growing around it, is a statue of what you can see is a male, probably human, standing with long robes, kind of holding their robe like this, and then a book in the other hand with their arms crossed.
Is there like a plaque?
Make an investigation check. Go look.
Go read the heck out of some historical. No.
But we're still
6.
rolling on the cart, right?
A 6. So you make your way over to this plaque. It's really hard to make out, just because it just seems almost ancient, and you're surprised it's still there. You can kind of swipe some of the dirt off of it, and you can just make out about a couple words from there. You can kind of see the word Septima, and then
Septima.
mm-hmm.
What's a Septima?
Make a history check.
11.
11. So now common knowledge that Septima is the 7th month of the year on the Varzan calendar. Judging just by how it looks, you think that it may have been some important figure of the previous empire, maybe even an emperor or something, but you're not sure. You could assume so, since there's a month named after him.
I would like to learn more about this. I really enjoy, the sightseeing and history. We should, if we have time before the boat, we should try to, maybe there's like a tour, city tour. No?
Why do
Nobody's- okay.
humans idolize other humans?
I don't know. What if they did something really good? They're holding like a book. They probably invented something. What do you
Well, Thank you
idolize?
for a history buff. That's surprising.
This man
I
invented
just,
a book.
I like learning things,
Fair enough.
I could stand to learn a couple of things, so I don't see why not.
Welby, is this, I feel like we're good, right? Yeah, you
Oh
good?
yeah, you can just drop me off, me and Simon, wherever
Cool.
you'd like, and if you wouldn't mind just kind of help me unload my stuff, and so it'll go
Sure.
faster, and then, you can be on your way?
Ron will help.
Falcon is kind of in a joking manner, leans down really close to Wellaby, is that his name?
Mhm.
Wellaby. His face, and just kind of stares at him. Says, "How much gold do you have?"
Well, I have about 30 pieces of silver.
Falcon just shakes his head.
It's all I had. It's my life savings.
Do not tell people how much money you have, my friend, especially in these parts. All right.
Well,
If I was a bandit, I would know exactly how much you have on you, and you'd be easy pickings later on. Trust me. All
Oh.
right. Keep that sort of thing to yourself.
Well, I thought that, since, you helped me and we camped together, I didn't want to be rude, but okay, I won't tell anyone.
Falcon just
This is
kinda
not
sighs.
very much money,
Okay,
just so
okay.
you know.
Yes. You're lucky. We helped you, and we're actually friendly. But there are those out there who have no problem helping you and then taking advantage of you. Just keep that in mind.
Oh, I will keep that in mind. Thank you very much for helping me, and if you ever need anything, you just let Welby know, okay?
Oh,
We'll
I
be
almost
Yeah,
forgot.
seeing ya.
Oh gosh. Almost forgot. Here, little one, Simon, here, this is for you. You may keep it. Do not thank me, it is nothing. I'm gonna give him the dagger.
No, he's, in due time,
You might
Simon.
need it. There are people out there that are going to rob you blind. You're going to need it.
I'll take it for Simon.
Yeah. And then when he's old enough for your parental supervision, whatever, sure.
Oh, okay. And he kind of takes Simon by the hand. He's like, let's go, Simon, and just kind of scurries off.
Bryn,
After
can I
that,
ask you
leave.
a question?
I need to buy a new dagger.
So when you say rob you blind, can people literally take your eyes and steal it?
We've talked about this.
Yes.
It is like how you say expression, figure of speech. We've talked about this like
How does speech have
500
figure?
times.
Like
No.
man? When you speak
No.
words, it forms shape?
Oh, hey Ron, look over there. I can see the water.
Yes, it is
I put
sparkling.
my arm around Ron and kind of like lean in with my legs crossed, so I'm like fully leaning on him, and I'm like, buddy, we have so much to teach you.
Yes, Ron has learned much since I left my home.
Okay, so
I nod and I say, let's go.
Very well.
So as you look through, and when you made your way through the town towards the town center, kind of the area that you went through seems like a lot of like housing, businesses, things like that. As you look over to your east, you can see kind of the docks area where there are ships there. And then if you look towards the west, you see more industrial, like logging and lumber type areas where people are felling, stripping trees, that nature. Where would you like to go?
I would think Valken immediately starts looking around for any sort of pub or place to get food and drink.
Sure.
While he's
Do I
doing
see
that, I'm gonna
anything?
go sell the wagon and horses. Because we don't need them if we're getting on a boat, right?
Up to you.
Yeah, I'd like to sell them if no one else objects. Actually, oh man, can I just give them to Welby?
What, our horses?
Yeah, we're not taking them on a boat. We only have 2.
What if we need them?
Get a new one in the next town.
I
How
guess.
much do horses cost? I honestly don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe this is a bad idea. I just assumed the guild paid for these and I was just gonna gift them to some poor people.
Ron is not sure if we will need or not, so to be on safe side, we should hold on
If
to.
it,
Maybe we can find like a parking lot or something.
Well, it's just usually when you go on a boat, you leave that stuff, you sell it, and then you get on the boat, and then you buy like a new one when you get. No, you guys don't seem you not travel much up here in the north. No, okay.
No.
I don't know what provisions the Arcanist will have for us once we arrive to Aramor.
Yep, up to y'all. You can try and find somewhere to sell the cart, give it to Welby, or you can continue and try and find like a tavern or an inn that Valkan has suggested.
I think
vote we give it
Valkan's
to
already on
Welby.
his way, looking for one. Sorry, go ahead.
Bryn votes to give wagon and horse to Welby.
He is very small and very poor. He will probably die this winter if we do not help. Like, just be honest.
Ron does not want small children to die. Then Ron agrees.
Okay.
Gotcha. So you kind of see Welby leading off Simon in the distance. His
Will be.
he kind of turns around and sees you
come
waving.
back!
Oh, what? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'll come back.
We have this stupid wagon and horses that we're gonna get on a boat. We can't really take it with us. So do you mind just keeping an eye on it for us? You can use it for your farm work until we come back.
His eyes just get really wide. He's like, "Really? I can have the cart and the horses?"
Yeah. Just you can owe us one. It's whatever. Just take it and let's not do all this sappy stuff.
Oh, thank you. And he hugs you. He wraps his halfling arms around probably one of your legs.
You're so small.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you so much. I was worried a little bit that we weren't gonna make it, but I'm so glad that we found you. It's wow.
This is look, it's just a normal thing that good people do. It is not. I'm not anybody special. I'm not like you. Just take it and go. Please stop hugging my leg.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll take this and wow. If you need anything, you let Welby know and we'll do whatever we can.
Okay. Just
Before they like part or stops hugging her leg, Ron just like gets into the moment and is like and goes over and hugs everyone.
I like
Except
skip
you're, like-
over, like clap my feet down, and then like grab and hug.
No,
as well.
this is not what we're doing. This is not the thing that this group does.
Then I start
No,
rocking.
gosh. I don't think this is what we should be. This does not make us look like warriors.
This is nice.
Falcon.
I whisper,
Falcon's kind
yes,
of,
it does, in her ear.
Falcon's kind of a little bit away, and he's been looking for a place, and he kind of just looks back to see where everybody else is at, and shakes his head and keeps walking.
All right. If you are looking for a tavern, let's make an investigation roll for me.
All right.
I will help.
Investigation?
Is the whole group going back after the group hug moment?
Yeah. Really need a drink after that. Are you kidding me?
This is a small town, right?
It's definitely a village, but it's not small. There's a whole like looks to be a timber industry, and it's, as far as you know, the first and only port on this side of the river crossing.
So, I don't know how this is possible, but Valkan's having a really hard time finding some sort of pub or place to get food.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 3.
3, and then you said you were looking to, or you were gonna help him, Ron.
I was gonna help.
You can go ahead and roll. Since you're gonna help, it's fine.
4.
Gotcha. So,
Oh my god!
in this
We
kind
found the
of
dive bar.
this unfamiliar village with tons of people kind of coming in across the bridge, you look around and eventually you find kind of this small tavern. You backtrack a bit, is what took you so long. You went into town, didn't find anything, and then came back, and you're able to find a small it seems to be a tavern there. On the outside of it, you can see what looks to be like a sign with a dagger on it. But the dagger doesn't look like it's pointed, it looks rounded on the end. Underneath the sign, it says the Fool's Dagger.
Do I recognize it as a symbol of any clans or anything at all, or?
Make a history check.
3.
3. Not that you know
Roll
of.
low tonight, baby.
Not that you know of. It's not a particularly great wood carving,
Going well.
but you kind of see how it might relate to the Fool's Dagger, but you don't really recognize anything else.
It's a
Alright.
stupid name for a bar.
It doesn't bother me as long as I can get something to eat.
Gotcha.
Falcon walks in.
Yep, as you walk in, you kind of see in this like single story wooden building, it's like a dirt floor covered in straw. Not really high scale or anything like that. Pretty much like a dive bar, what you would seem. There are just a couple of tables, stools, a small bar there. Not very many clientele, being just, you know, midday going towards the evening. You see someone behind the bar there kind of wiping down the surface. Looks like a human male. He's got just a cloth shirt, pants, and then a dagger tucked into his belt. And he looks over and sees you come in. He goes, "Oh yeah, what can we do for you? Welcome to the Fool's Dagger. You here for drink? You here for rooms or both?"
Both. We have some business in town, so we need one night. In drinks, I think, yes.
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 And food.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, food.
All right, I can whip all that up for you. You got coin?
Of course.
All right, let's see it.
How much do you want?
He kind of looks at you. 2 copper for a drink apiece. 3 silver a night apiece.
3 silver. Seems extraordinarily high.
What do
We
we
don't
look
even
like?
have
Rich?
wood floors.
You seem extraordinarily in the need for a place to stay. I'll
I
make
don't
you a
think we are,
deal.
though.
What if we share rooms, like 2 and 2? Yeah? You got big beds, 2 beds, what do you got situation?
Yeah, we got, I mean,
Yeah,
got
let's just get 2
beds.
rooms with big beds. We're fine.
all right,
Never
if you're
mind.
going to share a
I don't
room,
Ron's
blame-
not going to fit in a bed anyway, so he's gonna have to sleep on the floor regardless.
And I technically don't need a room. I don't sleep.
Well, you need somewhere to do your little
your eyes
meditation thing.
become
They
glazed.
look all, yeah, they look like this, and then
And then
you
I
can tilt
wave
your face
hand and you do
can't
nothing.
yeah, it's pretty great to watch, actually.
I like to put
Ron,
leaf
we have to
in
convince him every
pockets.
night that you're not dead. He's like, every night, he's like, what's wrong with him?
Not that.
all right, if you're sharing 2 rooms, then we'll just call it 3 silver total, and then
I'll just slap 3 silver down on the bar.
all right, then you want drinks? 3 copper a piece.
I just put it all down.
He kind of rakes it
Same
off
for
the
everybody?
counter, and he's like, "Coming right up." And he kind of just takes a jug and just
Oh,
pours
wait.
some wooden
But
cups.
before he starts pouring, I'm gonna like lean in and whisper, do you have anything to drink that's maybe like you know, like made with honey or like a flower water, something like pink, or like you know, like a strawberry milk sort of situation? Yeah.
he looks around to see who's in the bar, and he kind of leans forward. He's like, "Well, if you're looking for something a little more interesting than the swill, I've got some crimson tea if you'd like it instead."
What makes it crimson?
It's the color it is whenever you mash up the root and put
Yeah,
it
what
in.
kind of root? This is what I wish to know.
I mean, you don't know what crimson tea is?
No. I'm from like very far north. We don't even have roots up there. Nothing grows.
Well, crimson tea is made from dream root.
Oh. Well, that sounds
red.
interesting.
Make a history check. Or a
Second.
nature check would be better, probably. Sorry.
Oh,
Either one.
black sex.
Either one will work. I'll give you answers depending.
15.
A 15. Were you going to do history?
Yeah.
Okay. So with a 15, crimson tea is slang for a drink that is basically hallucinogens.
Oh, that's what I was scared of. Okay.
Not alcohol, not legal in the kingdom, but you're not in the kingdom anymore.
And we'll just take the swill for now. This is fine. But maybe let me see if we want
You
some.
mean you ask me about all this shite, and then you're asking about the root, you're asking about what makes it red, and you don't even fucking want any?
I just wanted some normal tea. I wanted like some like hibiscus flower tea,
I mean, you
or
asked
like some
about
strawberry
pink or
milk,
red drink,
or
and
like some honey flavored.
Is Falcon anywhere near? Can I
Yeah, you're at the
overhear
bar.
any of this?
Sure.
Okay.
You can get the hibiscus, or you can get the crimson tea.
Falcon just kind of looks over and he's like, "It's not that big of a deal. But since we caused you the trouble, if you want to pour one glass of it, I'll pay for it.
Make that 2.
5 silver
Great.
apiece.
2 then. 5 silver.
Wait, you said
Fine.
it was copper.
Nope.
That's for
These
the
ones are
swill.
silver. These
Yeah,
ones
it's
are
a swill.
silver.
Human talks about
Falcon
drugs.
puts down.
I say it loudly.
What'd you say?
Bartender speaks about drugs.
Just-
Keep it
Ron,
down.
you have to like. We talked about this too.
What did Ron do wrong? This man provide drugs for high price.
Ron, like, let's just go sit. I'll take Ron over to the nearest table and just kind of
So-
sit him down.
Bartender kind of takes the coin off the counter, hands the swill out, and then you can kind of see him go into a room in the back and pulls out another kind of smaller jug and takes some wooden cups and pours it in. Smells sweet, and it has kind of a pink hue in the cup, and kind of passes it over. Y'all need anything else?
Vin was getting one too, right?
Yeah, Vin and Valkan. You first two.
Falcon pays for both of them, and then kind of leans in to the bartender and he's like, "You have anything? You have sweets, like cookies, cake, pastry, anything? I'm dying here.
It look like a fucking bakery to you? No.
Well, can you point me to one at least?
No, we ain't got no bakery.
Nobody makes sweets here. Right. All right, we'll take the drinks."
All right.
And I pass it over to Vin.
It's all fine.
Thank you, hun. I plop down next to Bryn and Ron.
Okay.
This town sucks.
Is this wise?
No,
What do you mean?
but it might be entertaining. Drink up.
Okay.
No, not
Wait.
you. We're gonna let them do it. We're just
Oh,
going to
Ron not
watch.
partake. Ron will watch, but
Yeah,
we have contract to fulfill.
yeah. We'll keep you on task. You guys just do whatever you want to do. I'll probably go try to secure boat passage before we tuck in for the night.
Sure.
Actually, can I go do
we
that like
drink it now?
off camera just to go find a boat, kind of,
So,
and come
We
back?
already have passage. We're looking for Delius Vrago.
Oh, we do.
Yes.
Oh, little. Why do Ron? You never tell me anything. I just like.
You don't
You
ask
know.
Ron.
Okay, I remember that I have to very clearly and literally ask you things. I try to remember.
gotcha.
I have
Okay.
everything on paper.
So are you staying? Who's staying to have their route? Are you splitting up?
Well, I guess we're staying. I didn't know our boat passage was already, Ron here already took care of business. So I guess we're just going to hang out.
Okay. So
Get in a bar fight. I don't know.
if Vin and Valkan, if you're drinking your crimson tea, I need both of you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Safe.
Was it gonna kill us?
I was gonna say, with our rolls tonight.
It's day 20 and then our con modifier, right?
D20, and then there should be at the top of your sheet.
I see it. The
Um,
modifier.
Oh, savings.
Yes, saving throws.
16.
4.
A 4. Okay. So first we will go with Vin. So with a 16, first I would like you to describe, as you're kind of sitting there for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. You really don't understand what the big deal is about this drink. And then you
There's
just
nothing
kind
with
of
this.
you kind of seem like you're drifting off to sleep. And as kind of your eyes glaze over, you get a happy memory from your past. And what memory is it that you see while you're under the effects of crimson tea?
I see my best friend sleeping and me behind a tree laying a spider trap so that when she wakes up, she has a friend to see her. And in this memory, I vividly remember her waking up and yelling, "Vin!" and me giggling from the bushes.
Perfect. And you can kind of see Vin as she's kind of out of it at this table, just this wide smile across her face, and seems like she's really having a great time. Valkan.
Falcon's probably dead.
So where Vin, it kind of eased into it, as you kind of take the drink, a minute or two in, you're out. It affects you immediately. However, with this tea, it's meant to evoke good, happy memories from you. So what's the memory that you have under the effects of the crimson tea?
Ah. I think I'm in a room. It's a warm room lit by the sun. Resembles a dojo. And it's just a little Valkan and his teacher. And it's after a long day of sparring. It's the final session of sparring, and everything's a little bit jumbled, but what Valkan sees ends up being him and his teacher kind of resting and drinking really, really sweet tea and just laughing about the day.
Aww.
Yeah. And you kind of see, while Vin was sipping hers and kind of slowly eases, Valkan just takes his and then just immediately out. But still, you kind of see this odd smile on his face, and they seem like they're having a really great time. After probably 45 minutes or so, they finally come back to, and they wake up seemingly fine.
I've never
Holy
seen
shit.
never seen Valken close his eyes before.
Is that what sleep is like? I've never experienced sleep before.
It's
I
very
walk up-
strange feelings for you, Valkan, that you just seemingly lost consciousness.
I walk with Valken and I use my massive hands and try to open his eyes wide and gaze into it. Valken, are you okay?
I see a giant man in front of me.
Oh, this is real life. You're not dreaming anymore.
I pat him. I'm like, we have some things to teach you, Falcon.
Teach me. everything's kind of like he hears everybody saying these things, and it's still kind of like this drowsiness, and he's just like, yeah, okay, whatever, fine. Is there cake?
But we already asked. He said there's no bakery
Bartender
in
said
town.
no cake.
Okay.
All right, perfect. And then I believe after this, you were all planning to go to the somewhere to find the boat, or what was your plan after this?
After we sleep, was to go find the boat. The next
Yeah, what
day,
time of
right?
day is it right now?
It's like
Probably like dinner time.
it's like early evening. The contract that you received didn't particularly list a day that you were supposed to meet up with this Dalius Brago. So you're unsure if they're there or not there or when they'll arrive. We'll have to
Oh,
go
I guess we should
find-
do that next then.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to the port and
Yeah.
look for
Check out the harbor.
What was our
find the
contact name?
harbor master or whatever.
We're looking for Dalius Frago. He's
Frago.
captain of a ship.
Delios Frago.
Mm-hmm. All right, perfect. And after our short break, the group will go search for Dalius Vrago in the city of Last Chance.